this type of hoarding or this type of retail therapy, either way, these houses are not retail ready and the families have to deal with the stuff. I cannot stress enough tonight how big a deal the stuff is for the family. Guys, what do you see in this picture right now? Is this an opportunity for you, the real estate investor? Do you think this house is retail ready? What do you think is going to happen when the real estate agent walks into a house like this, right? They're going to say, hey, before we do anything, let's clean this place out. The children on average live over 400 miles away. And the question immediately, in a time when they need money, they're going to ask themselves, who's going to pay for the rehab of this house, right? Because that's what the real estate agent asked. Now, not everyone's a hoarder in the same way, right? This is a hoarder. This is a hoarder. Do you guys know what you call a hoarder that you like? A hoarder that you like, you can call them what I lovingly call an aggressive collector. This person on the screen here, you know, this house is not retail ready either, but it's very different than this house right here. The point is though, whether it's this type of hoarding or this type of retail therapy, either way, these houses are not retail ready and the families have to deal with the stuff. I cannot stress enough tonight how big a deal the stuff is for the family to get past emotionally, physically, monetarily, to get past this stuff. Let me give you a crazy stat. I love my stats. In St. Louis, the average estate sale generates between $3,000 and $5,000 in revenue. $3,000 to $5,000 in revenue on the estate sale. The cost to put the sale on is between $3,000 and $5,000 in cost to put the sale on. So did I just say that mom and dad's stuff was worth zero? The answer is it actually might be worse than that because of the time and effort it took to get to zero. And you only know that once you get past the sale and go, well, that didn't work out the way we thought. You know, dad's piano that he paid $1,800 for just sold for $40 because of the logistics of moving the thing, right? These families think everything they have is worth $1 million and it's just not. So what we're talking about tonight, the growth is obvious. Ask you guys this question right now. How many senior living communities are in your town? Do you know? Have you looked it up? In St. Louis, there's about 250 in my metro area alone. I probably know 10 of my communities. That's how little I've scratched the surface in 11 years. There's 10,000 people a day turning 65, but more tellingly, there's about 15,000 people a day turning 75. Guys, back in 2012, the total for long-term care spending was about $219 billion, but by 2040, it's gonna be $346 billion a year spent on long-term care. Where is that money gonna come from? It's gonna come from the sale of their house. The silver tsunami is coming for the next 20 years. Look at this crazy stat. In 1960, look at the amount of people in the millions over the age of 85 versus what it will be in the year 2060. It's so clear that this silver tsunami is happening right now. These are the people that have the equity. They're gonna need to sell their house to pay for care. This is perfect for today. You can mainly work from home. I spend maybe 1 to 8 hours. Usually it's 2 or 3 hours. And my average in St. Louis, I make around 20 grand, 15 to 20 grand would be my average in St. Louis. If you wholesale the properties into my buying network, there's really no upfront cash on your part. You know, those late night commercials that say you can make money with no credit, no money. Real estate is such a magical thing. It's true. You can really do that if you wholesale back into my network. So hero is a little bit of a grandiose word, but you're not the doctor who said mom can't move back home. You're not the clean out company who said mom's and dad's stuff is basically worth zero. You're not the realtor that said, hey, clean this place out and rehab it before we sell it. You get to come in and you get to be in a happy state. You get to help them unlock their equity.